In today's video, 3 ways to collect feedback on your coaching practice. Hello, coaches! Welcome back to another 5-Minute Friday from Eduro Learning. My name is Kim, and I am the premium mentor for the Coach Micro-Credential from Eduro Learning, and I've been an instructional coach in schools for about 20 years. I'm excited to share this with you today because I know the end of the year is a time when we want to get feedback on our coaching practice. So we've got some great freebies in the description below, so please check out those links. They all will point you to our new awesome resource website called COACHBETTER.tv. So please go and check that out so you can see all the great resources we're sharing for coaches in one place. And I will reference the different freebies throughout the video so you know what you can get. As a coach, it can be hard to know if your coaching is having an impact and how teachers feel about working with you. It's important to make time for feedback, and usually that time is right about now at the end of the year. In our Coach Better podcast conversations, we've had lots of conversations with different coaches who solicit feedback in lots of different ways. So today I thought I would consolidate some of that thinking into one short video for you. I'm going to share 3 levels of feedback in this video today, and I'm starting with number 1, individual feedback. And I do this every time I have a coaching conversation, and I find it so powerful. This first tip is to make feedback a part of your regular coaching conversations. The last question I ask in every coaching conversation, whether it's part of the Coach Micro-Credential program or the private mentoring that I do, or when I just work with teachers face-to-face, the last question I always ask is, what was most valuable for you today? And that's a great opportunity for the person you're coaching to reflect on the conversation and actually see, oh, there was a lot of value in the conversation today. And for you as the coach to concretely know what was valuable for them. There might be times where you think one aspect of the conversation was really important, but actually it's something different. And that gives you even more insight into the person that you're coaching. After that question, this is kind of a combo, so it's like the last 2 questions I ask. I usually also ask, is there anything you would like me to do differently next time? And that's a really good way to check in, to show that you're being responsive, and to help the teacher understand that you are willing to do whatever they need to make this coaching experience better for them. And obviously, it's also a great way for them to just tell you, oh, I'd really appreciate if we met in a different location, or I'd appreciate if you started like this, or I appreciate if you would give me this, or I need that. And that way you can move forward in this coaching relationship, adapting for the needs of the teacher in that moment at that time. Just to help you kind of get started with this, we have a freebie coaching journal template. And again, that's on the Coach Better TV website, which I will link in the description box below. So if you're looking for a template for a coaching conversation, we've got one for you that includes those last 2 questions. All right, the second way to collect feedback on your coaching practice is to do things at a small group level. And I'm calling this doing express action research just because that seems fun and short and easy to understand. And the idea is to ask a group of colleagues who've worked with you to share their feedback together in a team. You can do this where you're in the room with them, which is fine, but a really nice way to do this is to ask for someone else that you work with, a trusted colleague, to facilitate that conversation using some question prompts that you or they designed together. And the idea is they kind of have that conversation about you and your coaching together so they can build off each other, and then you get that feedback. And it's done in a way where you know who the people are, so it's not that just straight up anonymous feedback where you could get anything, but it's also distant enough from the other person that they can feel really confident and comfortable sharing whatever they want to say. We also have some suggested prompts for this kind of facilitated conversation on the Coach Better TV website. Again, link is in the description. All right, the third strategy is probably the most obvious one, and this is to get kind of school-wide or stakeholder feedback on a much wider scale, and that's to do a survey. You can do a survey once a year at the end of every semester with some specific questions that you want data on, and you can send that out electronically. It can be a paper survey, it doesn't matter, but it's really good to get an idea of the pulse of the school and how everyone feels like and how the school as a whole feels about coaching. Maybe not just coaching, maybe not just you as the coach, but the team of coaches they work with, to get that more broader scope of exactly what's going on. And I think it's really important to note that both the surveying staff and the small group conversations are also great to do with students. If you're in the classroom working with teachers, students are seeing you coach too, and they have a completely different perspective on things. So it's really great to get their insight and their ideas and their impression on how things are working, so that can help you adjust your coaching practice as well. And of course, alongside students, you can survey parents and talk to parents about the work that you do. I know as a coach, I often am interacting with parents and helping them understand aspects of the types of learning that we do in our schools. And so they have ideas and feedback about my coaching practice too. Those might be slightly different than the kinds of feedback you want from teachers and school leaders and your colleagues, but it doesn't hurt to get data points from all different areas so you can better adapt and adjust your coaching to the needs of all of the stakeholders in your school community. All right, those were 3 ways to collect feedback on your coaching practice. The first one is at the individual level to make it part of your coaching conversations. The second one is at the small group level to do express action research. And the third one is to survey staff on a whole school-wide level that might also include students and parents. Hopefully those 3 were helpful for you today. Thank you for joining us for another 5 Minute Friday, and we'll see you next week.